While the telescope has made it possible for us to view the cosmos, the microscope has allowed us to see the smallest components of all living things. Magnifying glasses are mentioned in the writings of Roman philosophers during the 1st century AD. But it wasn't until the 17th century that Galileo, the father of modern physics and astronomy, formulated the principle of lenses and focusing. Robert Hooke built the first usable British compound microscope in 1665. It was a light microscope with 2 converging lens systems, the objective and the eyepiece. Hooke observed that tissues were constructed of many tiny individual building blocks. In 1665, he had discovered and named the cell. Hooke was actually viewing cork, dead plant cells. The first person to witness a live cell under a microscope was Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Around 1670, Van Leeuwenhoek developed a method of grinding very thin glass lenses, just a millimeter in diameter, and yet they could magnify by several hundred times. These single lens microscopes were far superior to the early compound instruments. Mounted in a brass plate, these lenses could use transmitted light to image objects in a drop of water on the end of a metal pin. A screw was used to move the pin and focus the specimen. Van Leeuwenhoek was the first person to see and describe bacteria and yeast cells, sperm and blood cells, and witness the circulation of blood through capillaries. Light microscopes are still used today, but in 1931, German scientists Max Noll and Ernst Ruska invented the electron microscope. Instead of light, this microscope employs a focused beam of electrons to image the specimen and is capable of far greater magnification and resolution. The electron microscope can magnify up to 1 million times, making it possible to view objects as small as the diameter of an atom. These powerful microscopes have one major drawback. Living specimens are destroyed by the high radiation of the electron beam. And so scientists must continue to rely on traditional light microscopes to examine living cells.